Well, Floyd, there's a lot of people online on YouTube that every time we run one of your videos, they always say more Floyd, more Floyd. And a lot of them say, give Uncle Floyd a hug, give Uncle Floyd a kiss. And a lot of them say, is it okay if we call him Uncle Floyd? Can he be my Uncle Floyd too? And I told him that everybody in this town calls you Uncle Floyd, so they might as well too.
Might as well. Everybody's okay to call me Uncle Floyd, I'll tell you that.
Well, howdy do everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. I'm Dr. Lee, and it is another beautiful day in South Texas. Another beautiful morning, actually. It was about 40 degrees this morning when I got up, and it'll be about 75 this afternoon. So weather-wise, we don't have much to complain about around here. Hope the weather's good where you are, and I hope life is treating you well. I know you, just like I, am glad to have the elections behind us, whether your side won or lost. It's just kind of good to be where we are, so every time we turn the TV on, we don't see somebody trashing somebody else, mudslinging and acting like a bunch of children. But anyway, enough of that. Like I said, it's good to be on this side of the elections. But to get back on topic today, I told you last video, the video about where I was going to retire Luther, and I think a lot of y'all took that wrong, probably from the clickbait title I put on there. You thought I was getting rid of Luther. However, I did think I made it clear in the video that Luther was only going into retirement. And he will still be around, but he will be participating in a different capacity than what you're used to seeing him as you have in the past. We won't be beating on him the way we have. And granted, he's had a fairly cush life, but you know, he's carried animals and kids and grandkids. But nevertheless, Luther's here. Luther will always be here. And more than likely what we will do with old Luther is just go through him mechanically and get him all sound. And then he will, I'm still using him. I used him this week. I took him out and did a little chainsaw action and got some weed eaters after some areas. The thing, and I told you I already bought a new truck. I've had it now for a couple of months, and it's a bigger truck than Luther. The good thing about Luther is he can still fit on all the small paths and roads around here. The big truck won't yet, so Luther may still see some light farm work around here. I'll certainly use him on the paved roads, and maybe even use him in some of the tighter spaces until I can get my chainsaws in there and get the roads widened just a little bit. But nevertheless, Luther always will be here. Good chance I'll repaint him because there's a lot of rust coming up, and I'll need to get in there and work that rust. And when you do that, you're going to have to cover it with big blotches of primer, so you might as well just repaint the whole boy. So that's in the future. I will go back to that same color. I love that color on Luther. It's just special. But anyway, like I said, Luther's going nowhere. For those of you that were so worried, and I would bet 30% of you that commented said, whatever you do, don't let Matt have Luther. Well, it will only be after I'm cold and in the grave before Matt gets Luther. But so you may see him destroy Luther, but it'll be on down the road. But anyway, I'll get you off the tripod right now, and we will take a look at Luther's replacement. Actually, I can just kind of spin this baby around a little bit, and there you go. That's our brand new, I am going to take this thing off this tripod, so hold your ears, there'll be a loud click. So anyway, this is Luther's replacement as far as work and chores are concerned. This is a 2001 Dodge Ram 2500 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive diesel pickup, and it's got the long bed on it. It's considerably bigger than Luther. Like I said, it's kind of hard to get down some of the small paths around here. You can see there's a path right there, and you can tell this big truck's not going through there, so it will take some Take some chainsaw work for sure. But anyway, for a 20-year-old truck, this baby is in pretty good condition. And it's got 136,000 miles on it. And of course got a Demolition Ranch sticker and a Texas A&M sticker. You gotta have that around here. And like I said, you can see Luther has not retired completely yet. But anyway, that's the new ride right there. And it will be able to take a pounding that Luther was just getting too old to take. But give me just a minute here and I'll show you the engine and the interior. And I should probably give you a heads up on this and let you know that this is not the first one of these particular trucks I've owned. I bought one exactly identical to this back in 2001. And it's got this crazy multicolored stuff on it. I remember when my best friend saw all this multicolored stuff, he asked me if they let Jimi Hendrix pick out the interior cloth. But anyway, it's just your basic old pickup truck as far as all the controls. Somebody took out the original stereo, so I don't get to listen to my cassette tapes. But there's the four-wheel drive unit down there. There's the dedicated hand sanitizer. I'm sure y'all all have that too. And like I said, the old truck, for being almost 20 years old, it'll be 20 years old here in another couple of months, is in really good condition. You can see there's just not hardly any rust on it at all. And there's no wear. You know, usually there's a big old rip right here in this area, and it just didn't get much use at all. Even all the decals are still on the doors. You can just tell by looking at it. It had a pretty easy life. The truck came out of Montana. But anyway, the only thing they did, it looks like they did use it quite a bit because the bed got all scratched up. But everything else looks pretty darn good on it. I'll show you the motor next. And this is a 24 valve Cummins diesel. Got a turbo on it. It's got two big batteries. It has to have 24 volts to run the starter. But I mean, everything is just like everything else. It is a pretty clean truck, man, for being 20 years old. It's in pretty good shape. We'll fire it up. I'll let you hear it. And like I said, I bought a truck identical to this one back in 2001, brand new. And same color, same equipment, same interior, same everything. It's a deja vu to see this truck now. But in that truck, it stranded me twice, and it stranded Mark twice. And back then, the internet was pretty much in its infancy, and it was not a great help. But today, there's millions of bits of information on what happens with these trucks and what their Achilles heel is. And their Achilles heel has to do with the fuel delivery system. This particular truck has a Cummins diesel, but it is a 24 valve Cummins diesel, and because of that, it has an electronic injection system. It was Cummins, or Dodge and Cummins' first attempt at making electronic injectors in their diesel engines. So it had some inherent problems. And now we know exactly what they are. There's two fuel pumps. One takes fuel from the tank, sends it to the big pump up front that powers all the injectors, a very high pressure pump. And it's got that pump has a computer on top of it. And thanks to the EPA back then, they had taken all the lead out of the solder. So the solder gets very, very brittle when it gets hot and caused a lot of the malfunctions. Also, the fuel gauges in these things fail frequently as well. But my first one, by the time it hit 75,000 miles, had another catastrophic failure 30 days after the warranty went out, and it cost me $4,200. So I was ready to get rid of that one. I immediately traded it in on a Ford F-250 and drove that one for 200,000 miles and sold it to Rob on Lunkers TV. A lot of y'all have seen those videos too. But nevertheless, we know what goes on with these trucks. There's a lift pump in the back, takes fuel to the front pump, and it is supposed to cool it by way of using the fuel from the tank. It cools the front pump down. As the lift pump gets old, it doesn't put out as much pressure, so it doesn't send the volume of cool fuel to the injector pump the way it's supposed to, and the injector pump overheats, then the computer fails, and then it explodes and causes all kinds of trouble. So the fix for this one is to put a high quality lift pump in the back with a filtration system and all, so you'll send a lot of clean, cool fuel to the injector pump, and you put a pressure valve in there too, and if you ever see this lift pump starting to fail, you immediately change out the lift pump, and that will in turn keep the injector pump, which is very expensive, it'll keep it good and healthy. So that's one thing I'm going to do to it. It's got some steering issues we need to address as well, so there's some parts it's going to need, but then again, the truck has 136,000 miles on it, so that is to be expected. One thing we don't have for this truck so far is a name, and I will let you guys name this truck within reason. So have at it in the comment section, and we'll see what we come up with. But that's the new truck. Like I said, 2001 Dodge 2500 Ram, diesel, Cummins diesel, automatic transmission, and the white truck actually has an air conditioner in it. You know, I told you Luther did not, but you know, actually Luther does have an air conditioner. He's got a 250 air conditioner in there, and that's where you roll down 2 windows and drive 50 miles an hour, and it'll cool you down as good as he ever did. So got that going for old Luther. But anyway, that's the new ride, guys. I hope you like it, and you'll be seeing it a lot around here. I'm kind of anxious to get to using this truck as opposed to old Luther, because man, I would hit bumps and I would hear things creak and pop and moan that I've never heard in old Luther before. So it's time for retirement. Well, guys, that's about it from out here on the ranch today. I really appreciate you guys stopping by for a visit. I always enjoy it so much, and I just love the comments y'all put down in the comment section, and more than that, I love the way you take care of each other. And if any of you have any problems or concerns, if you just need to get something off your chest, put it down in the comment section and let all your brothers and sisters here take care of you. That's why we are here. So have at it. But anyway, a lot of y'all have been asking about Jackie and the babies, and they're all doing quite well. Jackie's working full time, and the babies are going to school, and they're doing their soccer on the weekend and all. Ellie just had her 5th birthday a few weeks ago, so it's just shocking to see that they're already turning into kids. They were little infants not very long ago. Now they're already turning into big old kids. But anyway, thanks for all your concern. Thanks for your love. And I know a lot of y'all just always say, gosh, wish there'd been something we could done for Mark. And you know there is. And if Mark was here today, and if you ask him if there's one thing you could do, he would tell you to give Jesus Christ a try. And I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm not going to get any more preachy than that, because you know what that means. For any of y'all that are on the fence, that's an avenue that he would really want you to explore, and I do too. And like I said, with it's been a hard year on all of us in our family. Everybody's doing well, but the holidays are tough, and sometimes just any day's tough to get through. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, and because of similar experiences. But you know, we're okay, and the number one thing that makes it okay in our hearts is that we know Mark was a Christian, and we are Christians, and we feel with all of our heart that we will all be reunited someday. So anyway, if you want to honor Mark, like I said, give Jesus a try. What have you got to lose but your soul? Well, guys, that's about it from out here on the ranch. Thanks again for dropping by. Like I said, I always enjoy your visits. And again, this has been a tough year, but it's been a busy year. I've got to give a speech, an after-dinner speech tomorrow night. And those are always tough. Winston Churchill once said, there's only 2 things in this world more difficult than giving an after-dinner speech. One is trying to climb a wall that's leaning towards you, and the other's trying to kiss a girl that is leaning away from you. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I always look forward to seeing you next time, and always remember, I love you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot for watching Out on the Ranch with Dr. Lee and your Uncle Floyd.